Hello, Libra. This is your reading for March 2016. I'm going to shuffle for about a minute. These cards are very slippery. I am using the Golden Tarot deck that I had for the February love readings. And so it's still a beautiful deck. And I'm very happy to see that the February readings that focused on love were so successful. Oh my goodness. All right, so this card insisted on popping out. The first card for us, Libra, is going to be the Magician. Okay, very nice card. Okay, now I'm a Libra, and if I remember correctly, the last few readings for us have been kind of up and down. Like we were working through some real obstacles and issues here. So it's very difficult for me to do a reading for Libra and not like, well, how does this apply to me? So it's interesting we have the Magician, which is an outward use, an outward energy of power and will and intent of making things happen, which I think could be quite apt for the month of March. Okay. All right, so I'm going to cut the deck here. All right, let's see what's going on. We have the King of Coins in reverse. We have Five of Wands in reverse. We have Five of Cups. We have the Fool. Oh my goodness. Okay. The Fool and the Magician actually have a nice relationship. We have Eight of Coins in reverse. We have Knight of Cups in reverse. So far, no, that was my stove beeping. I had a timer on, I apologize. We have King of Wands upright. Okay. And then we have a Queen of Wands. Interesting. Okay, Libra. We do not have lots of major arcana cards, but you know, the two that are showing up are very, very important here. We have the Magician, and then we have the Fool. And so the interesting thing, the Fool is number 0 in the major arcana, and the Magician is number 1. So we're talking about the start of some major energies here. The Fool, as I explained for Virgo, it's a card of new adventures, letting go. And this is at the center of the spread, actually. So this seems to be what our situation is about. Harnessing the energy of the present, taking a risk. And so usually the Fool has a wand, and usually the Magician has a wand. I think it's interesting in this deck, we don't have them holding a wand as they would in my traditional Rider-Waite. But the interesting thing is that the Fool is about starting off on a new beginning and harnessing the energy of the present, releasing the past, releasing the future. And then the Magician is asserting your will and making things happen and finding that internal motivation. It seems like maybe emotionally or as far as our fire, because I think the magician certainly speaks to fire. And the fool also has that wand as well. He uses the energy of fire. This is about, and then we have all this king and queen of wands happening here. So lots, a little bit of fire here, even though five of wands is reversed. It seems as if this sluggishness, I get a feeling that because the Knight of Cups is in reverse, that this emotional sluggishness or depression or whatever, that that there seems to be um, a realization that something needs to change. And we're trying to start that change. We're trying to say, this is going to change. I am going to start with me. I'm going to see what I can do in this situation. And so that's why the Fool here in the center is sort of setting the theme for all of the things that are happening here, especially with the Magician, that we are being motivated. And I keep saying we because I'm a Libra as well, but it seems as if this Magician card, this Magician is signaling that, and note how he has the infinity sign above him. The infinity means limitless, forever. There's no time involved here, no present, past, and future. It's only about your will and and using that metaphysical energy to change your future or to manifest things. And so this Fool signals that we're going on this adventure. We're letting a lot of things go. And I think that's why the Five of Wands is in reverse, because the Five of Wands indicates conflict, sometimes internal conflict, competition, people not being on the same page, obstacles. And it seems as if this Five of Wands is in reverse because we're eliminating that. Now we have coins in reverse as well, which we can address. But this Fool and Magician are very good energies to have because, in spite of any, certain things in reversal here, it seems as if we are going to push through it, that we're going to, things might not be even keel or stable right now, but we're going to sort of focus on ourselves, focus on the present, and just take baby steps. Okay? That we can, this energy to where we can do anything we want to do, and we're not letting anything stop us, which is why Five of Wands is in reverse. Um, it seems like there's an inner determination for our situation or this relationship that's going to start happening. Um, Now, so this Fool and Magician are the major arcana. You have the Fool in the center, and then also Wand seems to be the dominant energy here. And I think that happened for Virgo as well. Nothing, no coins for Virgo, which is their energy, the earth, but tons of wands here. So one, two, three wands. I consider the magician, usually the magician and the fool would have a wand in other tarot readings, but they definitely have that energy of harnessing that fire and that determination and that confidence as well. So, in this first row, why is the King of Coins in reverse? And keep in mind the Eight of Coins is in reverse. Now, this definitely can speak to a financial situation. Um, The King of Coins is this card of mastery and an outward show of um, energy in regards to money. It can also mean as far as not material, it's not only material things, but it's also about stability, groundedness, being logical, practical. The king, when this is upright, the king is very practical with money. He's a good businessman. He's very successful with money, can be very prosperous. And then it's reversed. So maybe there are things with money that need to be addressed, or we're coming into the month of March addressing. Um, we're addressing this a money situation, but it can also mean stability, a groundedness and stability in the material world where we live, um, job opportunities that might not be happening. Someone might have control over our job situation or our money situation where we live. And I think that's why this Eight of Coins is in reverse, because maybe it means that the Eight of Coins, of course, means working. It can mean a work situation. It can also mean being working on something, working on a project, putting things together, applying your physical, being disciplined as well. And so maybe if there was something that we're working on or a project that we're working on, it seems like things are going to be stalled in the material world, that things are not quite happening, if that makes any sense. For instance, there might be someone who's determined to get a new job. That might not be happening right now, but we're certainly applying ourselves as the magician and the fool indicated. Those are the dominant energies. And keep in mind, there are only two major arcana. So this seems to be a situation that we have control over. It's not a huge change. It seems to be something that is very short term that we are dealing with on our own, that we have influence over. So if you've been looking for a job, Libras, or looking for new job opportunities, and you're ready to hit the pavement, you're ready to network and get things started, things might not be getting off to a great start. So I'm kind of jumping ahead to this second row here, looking at what's happening with Eight of Coins, but I'm just linking these coins together, and I'm trying to, ask, why are these coins in reverse? Why are things with money in the material world not quite working out? But I do feel that it will eventually. And I think that we're applying the energy of the magician and the fool because we're trying to turn around these coins and make them upright again. We're getting rid of obstacles, which is Five of Wands, or maybe obstacles will start clearing out. Um, Maybe we're not fighting or resisting as much. That could also be one interpretation. Or another person, if this is a relationship you're wondering about, maybe there's a relationship where there might not be so much resistance, but maybe this lack of opportunities in the material world or something. Maybe this person, maybe there's a person in the relationship who's not quite grounded or consistent, is sort of also having an effect on why there's no conflict as well. I don't, I'm going to get back to this. Um, there's no conflict, but also there's no new opportunities. And it also could mean, because kings, they're a court card, kings could very well be someone in a relationship who is sort of not being practical or logical with money. Okay. So The fact that you're trying to make something work, maybe there's no confrontation about what this King of Coins is doing, or maybe there's no confrontation or action about your situation with the coins yet. Um, so heading to the Five of Cups, this is a card of loss. Okay, and interestingly enough, the Knight of Cups is right below it. And so we have some emotional energy because cups represent water and cups represent regret, dealing with a loss. But as you can see, you have this rich man. It seems like this is a rich man or a powerful man, and he's mourning the two cups that were lost, but he still has three cups that are standing. He hasn't lost everything. He still has some resources. And also Five of Cups, you see this man next to him. Now this is in this deck. This isn't in the Rider Waite version. You see this man trying to pull him out of it. Like, you shouldn't be so sad because you still have three other cups. And it could be the fact that we're we're not seeing some resources available to us, that maybe we have lost something, but we can take the three cups that we have and do something with it. Okay. And so um, there might be regret about a relationship or a regret about a past. There might be some setbacks, especially when we look at these coins in reverse. Um, but I think the Fool is signaling here that we need to see this with fresh eyes and sort of move and just sort of take the risk and move forward. Eight of Coins indicates that that might not be happening just yet. So we have regret, taking a risk, but yet lack of energy here as far as working on certain, working towards that goal. Okay. You can have all the willpower. If that will and intent isn't applied, then you kind of get stuck with this Eight of Coins in reverse. Nothing's happening. You stop working towards that goal. Okay. Um, so this is interesting that the Five of Cups seems to signal for me that there's more emotional, there seems to be an emotional block or an emotional obstacle. There seems to be a giving up. Maybe this is indicating the Five of Wands, meaning fighting for what you want, the competition, taking on new challenges. There's a lack of doing that. There's no desire, but lots of emotional regret here. So this five is reversed, but this five is upright. Um, Now, that tells me this Knight of Cups in reverse also seems to be linked to this Five of Cups. I'm looking at how the cups are tying together here. And what we see is that Knight of Cups, we're talking about, because this is a court card, a knight can represent someone. We could be dealing with a Knight of Cups is someone who acts on emotions. He's a daydreamer. His head is always in the clouds. He acts on how he feels. And then when this card is reversed, when we have a Knight of Cups in reverse, we can be dealing with someone who's overwhelmed with depression, an emotional setback, sadness, um, letting feelings overwhelm the big picture and not seeing things for what they are. And maybe these setbacks, this Five of Cups with the regret, I think there's a danger that when you're so encompassed on what you've lost, you let that overshadow or affect your vision of what you can do with the 3 cups that you have. You're so focused on the 2 cups that were lost. Now, this might not apply to you. This could actually be someone who is a water sign. And, this King of Coins could be a person who might have affected the situation with the Knight of Cups as well. Sometimes we need to be flexible here. We can't say, well, I'm not a earth sign, I'm not a water sign, so this doesn't apply to me. But keep in mind, this can definitely apply to a situation in the material world. It can represent someone else, of course, but it can definitely apply to dominant energies in the material world where other people have influence. Okay. Now, that's why we get to another king and another queen. And so it's also possible that, our sun sign might be Libra, but our moon might be coins or earth. Our ascendant sign might be fire. I know that my ascendant sign is Virgo, which is an earth sign. So this could definitely apply to me as well. Um, so having said that, as we head into the near future, we're getting some more, it seems as if we're pulling out of the funk here, that there's going to be some influence by people, a King of Wands and a Queen of Wands, a partnership. Now, going back to my relationship reading, this King and Queen are perfectly matched. They're both fire, okay? And they're close, they're right next to each other. So this could definitely mean um, this unity with fire between the king and the queen working together. The king is active, the queen is passive. The king is dominant, the queen is receptive. Okay. Um, and so she's more of an internal energy where she gives and she nurtures. The king is the one that's the outward display, who's more active, who makes the decisions, who rules and decides um, and is more active with this energy of fire. The king is confident. They're both confident people. The queen has this inner confidence. Um, they're both artistic, but the king displays this more outwardly. The queen is more inwardly. Okay. He sort of has a little bit more control. And this can be either one can be energies for men or women. It doesn't mean that the king is a man and the queen is a woman, but we definitely have this strong energy of harnessing the power of fire that we began with in the magician. And so this fiery energy seems to be coming. It's not coming here because we seem to have these emotional sluggishness that's preventing us from taking action, but it seems as if maybe there's a little bit of confidence, there's a little bit more motivation that's coming in the near future after the month of March. And these energies and cards are not just about the month of March. These are things that can sort of stretch out over the entire year. So what I'm seeing, Libra, is that even though we start off saying, okay, here's what needs to change, here are my goals, um, there's no obstacles here, but also there's no working towards that. We're dealing with a lot of um, emotional setbacks, regrets, and maybe we need to let that go. I don't see any swords here. I have cups, wands, and earth and coins, which is interesting because for Virgo, I got nothing from earth, so this is weird. But definitely, whatever this emotional regret or depression or whatever it is that's holding back, it seems as if eventually there's going to be pulling back. And I kind of see this as two people together who are working through this, that there's going to be action and there's also going to be um, a focus, a thought. Our thoughts are going to be oriented. It's going to be this energy of the magician, but the internal and the external energies that we need to act and think on what we want are going to start manifesting um, after the month of March. So I think that's pretty interesting here. That maybe there are things in our material world that we've put off and we haven't tackled, which is maybe why this Five of Wands, and maybe that's why the interpretation of this Five of Wands has changed for me. Because, yes, the Five of Wands can mean obstacles or challenges, but maybe sometimes there are challenges that we need to stop ignoring, which is why this is in reverse. You know, if we want something and we have a will or desire to do that, indicated by the Fool and the Magician, then, we can't avoid the obstacles or the things that are in our way. Okay. And so this Five of Coins is starting to make a little bit more sense. And the fact that we have this Five of Cups, that we're so focused on what we've lost that we're not looking at the resources that we do have to face the challenges. This Knight of Cups and Five of Cups, we're just emotionally avoiding things. We're a little depressed. Um, but it seems like we're going to pull out of it. That there's going to be some event or some person where their energy is going to sort of pull us out of this. Now, this could be a huge family situation, um, especially in regards to money, home, material things as well. And then also, as I said earlier, if this is a career or financial situation, there are some challenges that you need to face in order for these coins that are reversed to turn around here. Okay, so Libra, I'm now going to shuffle for your outcome card. The Queen of Wands, the Three of Wands just tried to pop out. It didn't fall out, but I think that's very interesting. More fire energy. In fact, wands have been pretty prominent in many of the readings so far. The Libra is usually the 8th reading I do. And I don't know if it has something to do with a particular astrological energy that's happening. Usually there's a triad or, a conjunction with the stars that can determine how all the astrological signs are getting energy. Sort of like Mercury retrograde might have interesting effects on our communication, and each sign manifests that Mercury retrograde in different ways. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to cut the cards. All right, so Libra, your outcome card is Two of Swords. And this is interesting. Well, no, it's our energy. Swords are our energy. And Two of Swords is, and I think I explained this in the last reading in February. Two of Swords is a card of needing to make a decision, and until you do, things are going to be stalled. The woman here needs to drop one of the swords, because if you have one sword, that's the Ace of Swords, right? And the Ace of Swords is clarity and truth. But the Two of Swords means that we're so afraid of making a decision, and we get stuck, nothing happens. So the woman's holding two swords, but it seems like she needs to let go of one of them. Okay. And maybe that's what we need to do, Libra, that we're sort of stuck. We have all this slow energy here, with this Eight of Coins, we're not doing anything. We might want to do, there's something that is very important. We might want to make a relationship work. We might want to start over, and we have this, we might want to move in a new direction, but we're allowing our emotions and our regret and things that happened in the past to hold us back here. And we need to mentally, we need to get unstuck. We need to make a decision. And that can be hard for us, Libra, because we always try to be balanced people here. If you look at the archetype for Libra, it's holding two scales, wanting to be fair and balanced and have positive outcomes for everything. But I think sometimes it means that certain decisions we make, there's going to be a loss and there's going to be a gain, which is why this Five of Cups seems to be a big emotional stop gap here, or a big emotional obstacle for us. That maybe we're afraid of what we might lose and what we might gain if we move forward and make a certain decision. And we're avoiding things, which is why Five of Wands is in reverse, King of Coins is in reverse, and Eight of Coins is in reverse. In the material world, there are a lot of things that we might be avoiding because we're afraid of making a definite decision. Okay. Now, I'm also going to pull out our Angel Oracle card for the month. Okay. Okay. Our Angel Oracle card is ear chakras. What does this mean? Okay. I'm going to try to hold the card up so that you can read it. It says, notice messages that appear as sounds, music, and words from both external sources and within your mind. These messages are real answers to your prayers. And that is very important. So if we've been stuck, if we've had emotional regrets, if we're afraid of making a decision, if we're not sure how to move forward, I think we need to tap into our psychic energy, Libra, because we're the ones who live in our heads. We overthink things. I think we need to listen to the answers that are given to us. And, like this Five of Cups, which I think is very significant with this angel oracle. As you can see, there's someone who is trying to talk to the man, this ruler or this rich man, and try to tell him, hey, look, you still have some cups left. It's time to stop staying stuck with what you've lost. It's time to move forward. Okay? So there's a very important message that it seems we need to listen to in order to move forward. Okay. So Libra, that was your tarot reading for March. Okay. And I apologize that this is late, but I've been so busy. It's been crazy. So what I'm going to do for April is I'm just going to try to do April throughout the last 2 weeks of the month. And my nail polish color might change, you know, but I don't think anyone will care about that. But, because things are busy for me on all fronts, I'm going to try to make sure that we you have the April readings before the beginning of the last week, at the end of the third week of the month. So I thank everybody for your support, everyone who's been donating, getting readings, and all your wonderful comments. I am so happy that the February love readings were on point for a lot of you, and I really appreciate it. Um, so onward and forward, and I will see you in a couple of weeks. I wish you love and light, and I will see you soon.